Hey, folks, welcome back to Good News York. I'm Matt Major from Growth Mode Content here on a Monday, almost awake.
Oof.
Cup and a half of coffee in.
Yeah.
No water here.
No running water.
Plumbers are working on that. Luckily, we didn't buy the water-powered cameras, so.
We were going to.
I made that bad joke like 4 times so far today. I can't believe none of you guys have thrown anything at me.
I didn't even hear it.
In any case, you see how much this guy listens to me. We got so many fun things to talk about.
Yes.
Fun weekend to recap, Father's Day, my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of awesome things to talk about. But before any of that, I should introduce my handsome co-host, Mikey
Thanks,
B.
buddy. Mike Brindisi here with you.
And
Good News York.
we got a Mike squared situation in here.
Yeah.
Joining us in the studio was probably the coolest guy in Syracuse.
I would agree.
And everybody knows him. It's the famous Mike Durkin, VIP Structures. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Mike
Thank
Durkin,
you guys.
welcome to the show. Shout out to Ads on the Go, getadsonthego.com, our sponsor. We're so happy you're here, man.
This is awesome. Thank you for having me in.
Of course.
So, Mike, we'd love you to just talk a little bit about the types of things that you do and the things that you're involved in. For some background, Mike is another one of my profound friends, somebody that I met in that organization and just endless information and things like that about what's happening in all of New York State, really. So here at Good News York, that's the type of stuff we love to celebrate. So we figured you'd be a great fella to have on the show, and we really appreciate you joining us.
Absolutely. So again, I'm Mike Durkin. Professionally, I'm with VIP Structures, and we design and we build and we develop real estate. I'm celebrating my 6th year right now in June.
Wow.
Congratulations.
And, from there, let me back up. I was born and raised in Syracuse, stayed here. My kids, God willing, are going to stay here as well. We love Central New York and this time of year. I mean, yesterday we were out on the lake and we were enjoying, a little overcast, but the sun was burning through and we were on the water and enjoying the waves and the birds and all that. So, again, I'm a huge advocate of Central New York. I love the fact that you guys are putting out good news about us here. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
So, professionally, I had mentioned I'm with VIP. We're celebrating our 50th year this year, which is exciting. Meg Tidd is our CEO, second generation family run business. We're up to 150 people.
Wow.
Largest the company has ever been. And again, we're just proud of the clients that we surround ourselves with, the type of projects we pursue. We can certainly talk about that today a little bit. I get excited to talk about development and design and build opportunities, and really just looking ahead to see where Central New York looks a decade from now, because it could very well get crazy here in the next 6 to 12 to 18 months. I'm really feeling like we're all going to start being like, oh, shit, this is really happening.
Yeah.
I agree. I was thinking that too with all this mic on, and the more we have people on the show like yourself and they're talking about what's going on, in my head I'm thinking the same thing. Like, this is going to be bigger than I think even we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah. We, it's a little early yet for Micron, but we're starting to see those interests from out of town real estate speculators that are buying land and they're not sure what they're buying, quite frankly.
Gotcha.
They could be from Texas or Florida or wherever, and they're just buying land being like, I'm going to buy this. It seems affordable, and I'm going to just see what happens. And so that speculation, this market hasn't seen. Our properties in Central New York really don't appreciate over the last 50 years. If you bought something in 2009 and it's cash flowing, it's likely the value of that property is the same as it was in 2009, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I think that's changing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my house appreciated a third of its value in like 2 years.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It is.
And I don't know enough to know why or how, but I see it,
And hopefully it's sustainable, right? We certainly start to get worried about affordability. One of the best things about Central New York, and one of the things that the younger generation are finding, they want to come and live in an easy place with plenty of activities, that whole work-play model, live, work, play. They can get to the Adirondacks, they can get to the cities, they can get around our city easily, and it's affordable. However, rents are going up.
Yeah.
And so I do get a little worried that at some point that affordability component might not be the first line that we're looking at.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It's
a big
wild.
problem.
Mike, would you just because you mentioned that kind of live, work, play, something that's been very interesting to me is we're seeing all kinds of these projects, whether they're remodeling an old place or they're building a brand new building. It's not just an apartment building or just a shopping center or just a hotel even. It has all of these things in one footprint.
Yeah.
Can you talk to that trend a little bit?
We can. We have been doing what we call adaptive reuse, taking old buildings that might not be utilized at all. It could be vacant and run down, or it could be just the time to repurpose it. But we love taking old buildings and envisioning what it can be in the future. So, case in point, 2 projects near and dear to our hearts: the Pike Block, which is at the corner of Salina Street and Jefferson. Fayette and Salina Street in downtown Syracuse. It was 5 dilapidated old buildings.
Wow.
And the developer team at VIP took ownership of that in the mid-teens of the 2000s and converted it to 68 apartments and about 30,000 feet of commercial space. Wow. We've got Center State CEO as a tenant, Pathfinder Bank's a tenant, Original Grain's a tenant, and a few others, FTS, and forgive me if I'm missing anybody, but then the 68 apartments, and that's an historic rehab, and it brought life back to that corner where at that time, Warren Street and Salina Street were coming back to life, but we needed that anchor, and we're glad that VIP was in there. But it took some years off of our lives to pull that project together, but we were full. We've had a waiting list in our apartments for pretty much the whole time.
Wow.
COVID, maybe pandemic, we might have had 1 or 2 here more than normal,
Sure.
but we see the demand, we hear about the demand, and since then, we've taken our old headquarters, which is a 5-story brick historic building, converted that to 34 apartments just last year.
Wow.
Full. It's fantastic. I've got goosebumps as I say it. So now we're on to the 3rd one, and that's the redevelopment of the Post Standard building. It's where our headquarters are. We moved there about 2 years ago, and we're just starting to kick off right now. Our crews are doing what we call selective demo inside the building. We're ripping down walls. We're taking out mechanical systems, and we're going to convert that section of buildings on the north end and the east side to 72 apartments.
Wow.
And we really, quite frankly, guys, we had been sitting on that building for a while. We moved in, Future Brands moved in, NBT Bank moved in, but we were trying to find 1 or 2 larger kind of flex users that could take advantage of the high ceilings and the heavy power and the loading docks. And it was hard to get folks who wanted to assemble widgets to think about a downtown presence. So we said, the hell with it. We're going to create our own development, and we're going residential. And again, we're confident that a year from now, when the first units come online, we're going to have lease up will go as smoothly as it has been for us over the last, say, decade. And it's really exciting to bring that end of downtown. We're at the historic Clinton Square. We see all the parades. We see the tree lighting. We see the farmers market and the Taste of Syracuse. It's all right there at the south end, and now we're going to reactivate the north end. It's two city block building.
Yeah.
It's a 250,000 square feet. It's a monster.
Right.
And for us to bring 72 apartments, probably another 150 people living and working and playing downtown Syracuse.
That's incredible.
It's fantastic.
Which side will the apartments face?
So the north end, a lot of folks recognize the Post Standard building, that press they added in 1999, that wall of glass that faces 690. That's going to be 4 floors within that of apartments facing north.
Wow.
And then on the east side of the building, where the press used to be before they added on, we've got another section that's high bay, and we're going to rip off the facade there, and we're going to be 25 feet of wall of glass, and it'll be 2 stories apartments on the east side. So that really, that Salina Street corridor, it's going to get reactivated. That for decades had been covered in brick, and it was where they produced the paper.
Yeah. That's incredible. Does the paper still have any sort of presence in that building,
No.
or they moved out?
Press moved out in, the time's flying. I want to say it's summer of 22 they stopped producing the paper. Maybe it was 23. The paper's produced down in Pennsylvania, and it's shipped up here a few times a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That press, when it was installed in 1999, I want to say it was $8 million. It was state-of-the-art. It was the best machine you could find in the planet, and it produced a hell of a quality paper until the end. But it was it was what do you want to call it? Obsolete,
Yeah.
if you will. So they literally took it apart with blowtorches and just
hacked it up,
scrapped
huh?
it.
Damn.
Scrapped it up. It was a shame, but it made room for what we're doing now, and that's bringing more people downtown. A vibrant downtown in any region is crucial, and downtown has about 5,000 people living downtown now. When I started working downtown in 2012, I want to say the number was 1,700, 1,800
Oh,
people.
wow.
So that's incredible
Yeah.
how many people live, work, and play. And that's not the city. That's just a central
Sure.
business district at the heart of downtown.
And that's all those people obviously support all these businesses down there as well, right? So and this is, there's no wrong answer, but
Yeah.
as that population booms, what's the best little type of shop that somebody could open up that might serve these people? Is it a bakery? Is it another coffee shop? Is it another restaurant? What would be your best suggestion to somebody?
I'm not an expert in retail, but I'll give a case in point. At the Pike Block, we just had a Milano Bean just moved in. Everybody shout out to Milano Bean. They're from New York City,
Oh, wow.
and they actually bring their baked goods up every other day from New York. You walk in there and you feel like you're down in a bodega. The baked goods look amazing. They taste amazing. Their coffee's excellent. And I thought, when we were looking at filling that space, it was a Jimmy John's before. And it was I don't want to say a coffee desert right there, but you could certainly go down to Cabal at the corner of Jefferson and Salina. You could go over to Cabal across the National Grid. You could find a couple other coffee shops, but there really wasn't one right in the heart.
Out of the way, yeah.
And so I think that's a great use of that space. It's right next to Original Grain. Shout out to our friend Chris Biley, who's just killing it with Original Grain. So
That's awesome.
we love that blend. We find that there's also a bunch of other retailers popping up, but I'm not the guy to ask what's missing now. But having 4,000 to 5,000 people downtown, we're not quite there for a supermarket, but I think we're close.
Oh,
I'd
wow.
always heard the number was 7,000. I don't know if that's
see.
accurate. So we're getting there. I wouldn't be surprised at some point we have a small grocery store.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just thinking that spot, that corner is the hot spot. They just had Taste of Syracuse right there and all the, like you mentioned, the Christmas tree and all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be a hot spot. What a great idea. Mike, what is your role in all these things at VIP and in all these different projects?
Yeah, well, thank you. So I joined VIP in June of 19, and prior to that, I was a commercial real estate broker for a decade.
Oh, wow.
And I got to know the guys and gals at VIP, and I had said to the founder, Dave Nutting, one day at a meeting in 2017, I just put it out there. I looked at him. He was holding the door. I was walking out, and I said, I'm going to work for you someday. And the door, he said, that'd be great. And the door shut, and I'm like, holy shit, I just said that out loud. I honestly, guys, I think I manifested it.
Good.
Yeah.
We stayed in contact for the next few years, and we figured out where I would fit. And to answer your question, Matt, they brought me in to raise capital for our real estate development projects.
I see.
And I was unfamiliar at the time with passive investment, syndication, returns on investment. And I said, guys, I don't know how to do that. And they're like, Mike, you've got integrity, you've got relationships, you've got a reputation, you're hardworking, you're honest, you've got the ingredients. Mm-hmm. If we're going to grow our development arm, we need to bring in from time to time partners for equity. And we think you could do this. And I signed up right then and there. And so lo and behold, a few months later, we had raised almost $4 million for our first project.
Wow.
And, I'm super proud of that moment back in 2019 for never doing it before and having the trust of my clients and my relationships. And they trusted me and my team behind me, and they trusted VIP. So when we're not raising capital, I tend to be kind of a Swiss Army knife. I help with our leasing. From my brokerage days, we own some buildings who have tenants, so I help with our tenant fit-ups. And I'm also just out there promoting our design and construction services as well. So yes, we develop real estate, but we also have a ton of projects where we're just the architect of record. We help companies figure out how they're going to expand, how they're going to remodel, become more efficient. We help clients imagine their own development project, and they don't know how to develop, but they've got an asset and they're not sure what to do. They'll bring our team in and we'll offer development advisory services where we're just walking them through the process. How do they get municipal approval? How do you get site plan approval?
I see.
How do you figure out if there's wetlands on the site or not? Where's the power? How are we going to tie in the water? Like, clients don't know how to do that.
Of course.
Our team can certainly guide them. We might not be the developer. We're just a support role. And then we certainly build a ton of buildings around town that we're not the architect either. So our construction arm can build things that others design. Our development arm can help clients figure out what they're going to develop. And our architecture team helps our clients figure out that design as well. So we're pretty nimble when it comes to designing it, building it, developing it. But if we can put all those actions to work on one project, we call that integrated. If we can do an integrated project where we come in and we develop it, we design it, we build it, that's the home run for us. But that's probably every 2 to 3 years, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It takes a while. And, the cost of money's never been higher. So interest rates, right? Clients look at it and say, oh, my God, how am I going to pay for this? And we can help them figure that out. And there's incentives and there's grants and there's tax credits. So you got to know how to navigate those markets so we can help our clients with that. But really just it starts with a thought of, hey, I need to do something. What am I going to do? And just call us. We'll help them at least get started, and we're happy to pass it off to someone else if we're not the right fit.
I love that. I love those things. Mike, I want to ask you one more question about this, and then we're going to just change the channel real quick and learn a little bit more about you personally. But anything you can tell us about an upcoming project, something folks might not know about that might be kind of interesting on the horizon, whether it's one of yours or just things happening in New York, anything like that come to mind?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I had mentioned the redevelopment of the Post, so we're super proud of the second phase that's happening with the residential components downtown. We are also working on a confidential client to build them a large daycare facility. So we're designing a daycare facility for a group that's going to have thousands of employees eventually in our market. So we're super proud of that one. We're still a year.
You stack
or two
the kids
away.
vertically, you can get a lot more in the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. It's true.
Yeah, and there's a huge demand for daycare and
Absolutely.
housing. So we're finding ourselves becoming part of conversations about community centers. We're also super excited about Latavius Murray's project that's coming. Latavius is
The running back?
the running back.
No way.
Yes, sir. So Latavius grew up in Nedrow, New York, and he wanted to build a community center on behalf of his best friend growing up, Jonathan Diaz. And we've been helping Latavius for a couple of years now. We helped him identify the site, which is right behind Aldi's and Nedrow, right in the heart of where Latavius grew up. And we've also helped them find the operator. So Integrated Community Alternatives Network, a.k.a. ICANN, out of Utica, is coming west. I had met Steve Balger, the president and CEO of ICANN, a couple of years ago and was telling him about Latavius's project. And Steve said, you know what? That's exactly the type of thing we do. And we've been looking for an excuse to come to Onondaga County. So we married those guys together. They're now have an operating agreement. They're partners. We're hoping to have shovels in the ground of spring of 26 to build call it 40,000 foot community center with daycare, classrooms with computer labs, teen lounge, a gymnasium, a running track, lockers, showers, the indoor playground. And that project is going to fulfill a really important need on the southern end of Syracuse for, again, that daycare component that is
so
lacking.
big. And this ties into my argument when people say athletes get paid too much. They get paid millions of dollars just to play sports. And I think, and that's one of my arguments is, but you don't see what they do with that money after they retire. And a lot of them reinvest in their own communities and places where they grew up, and that's a perfect example.
100%. I got to tell you, Latavius is one of the kindest people I've ever met. And as he was maturing through the NFL, he went and got his MBA from Whitman. Shout out to Syracuse University School. He's got his MBA from Whitman. He is sharp. He's got a passion to give back to the community. He's putting those resources to work, Mike.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I love to hear that, man.
That's got to be so fun to work on. Like, how do you?
It's fantastic. It's what we're really honing in on now is that next phase of design. So we've got the schematic design done. So that's about 30% of design. Now we're working towards design development drawings. So we'll be about 65% complete. We'll go out to budget at that point, update the budget. One of the things as we design a project, we can actually price it as we're designing it. So versus traditional model of designing it all the way through construction drawings and then going out to bid, and then the client figuring out that they can't afford to do the project.
I see.
We're budgeting it schematic, and we're budgeting again at DD, and then we'll do the final budget once the CDs are done. And along the way, we can maneuver those designs that if it's beyond the budget, let's scale it back. Let's talk about a different alternative before we spend a lot of money or more money on architects to design something that can't be built.
That's incredible. That's incredible. That's that type of, I guess I would say innovation. Like you said, it's not the way that it used to be done.
Yeah.
It moves things forward, and I'm sure that's the type of thing that makes your company a massive, been around for half a century, successful organization. So
it really does.
I love that.
Having that design and the price checks throughout the process, it not only keeps the client informed, but oftentimes, if the budget's intact, when we get up to that 60, 70% complete, we can go to the town and get municipal approvals. We can get site plan approval while we finish up the CDs, which means we can get the shovel in the ground sooner. Right now, folks are trying to figure out how to get it done. And when you tell them it might take 12 to 14 months to build the building, and that might be after 6 to 9 months of approvals, they're like, I don't have 2 years.
Right.
Well, let's keep going. Let's try to shorten that window.
Yeah, see, I feel like that's why your company's so key, because I'm going to assume that a lot of your clients don't realize that at 60, 70% completion, you can go and do that. So I think that's such a huge benefit of working with you guys.
The schedule helps. And again, it all ties back. It's all so tied in because it'll also tie back to the capital and the lending that they need to go out. And so if they can get their budget sooner, they can talk to their bank sooner. They can get their pricing sooner. They know what they can afford. It just helps everybody. Knowledge is power.
Sure,
right?
it is.
And if we can keep them informed throughout the process, it speeds it up and it makes it way more smooth.
Way smoother.
Thank you.
Words are
hard on
words are very hard on a Monday morning.
I was going to say, it sounded like something that the financiers would love that situation. So that's got to be great.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Mike. So listen, let's just take a couple minutes before we let you go. Tell us about non-VIP Mike. What are you doing when you're not?
He's always VIP.
Building homes for people downtown.
Well, I'm coming off of Father's Day. I'm a proud parent.
Yes.
My kids are 26, well, soon to be 26, 22, and 20. Girl, boy, girl. I'm fortunate that the older two, Cassidy and Connor, they're both out of college. They're both committed to staying in Central New York.
That's awesome.
We get to see them on a periodic basis that they're here. They come over for Sunday dinners. They come over and hang out in the lake.
That's awesome.
And then my youngest, Macy, will be starting her junior year at Hartwick College. She plays
Congratulations.
basketball, so we are still that proud parent that get to go sit in the bleachers and
There you
cheer
go.
on our kids. They were all super athletic growing up. I was a coach growing up, the youth athletics. I was always engaged in the schools and the sports. And to have my youngest still playing is, I'm very thankful that she does that. And so outside of work, parent first and foremost, I try to be a good husband. And my wife, Kate, we just celebrated our 27th anniversary.
Wow,
it's killing it.
Oh, shit. Maybe it's 28. I don't know.
We'll edit it.
At that point, it's all just,
And
extra points on them.
and then community-wise, I'm still heavily involved. I'm a United Way board member of Central New York. I'm on the Syracuse Builders Exchange board. I'm still an active Profound member.
Do you sleep?
No, I'm a guy who can live off of 6 hours.
Attaboy.
And you try to just give back. I try to give, and give, and it turns out that you'll receive tenfold if I just continue to give. Another shout out I'll do in this little side hustle I've got. It's also a podcast platform.
Nice.
It's called Making the City Smaller. And we try to shine a light on the community and help connect folks who are probably passing in close proximity all the time. But if we can introduce them
That's great.
through informal contact or more purposeful contact and connect those dots and help those companies and organizations grow what their mission is. So we use Making the City Smaller, just build valid and valued connections. Again, tell folks stories so people are engaged with that person before they even meet Matt or Mike. They watch you on this and they're like, I want to work with those guys.
Yeah.
That's
the whole concept.
We preach that all the time with our clients too, is that, we're not, yes, obviously you're selling your business and your product, but it's selling you first. People are falling in love with the person behind the mic and then going, what is it that you do? Oh, that works for me. We could work together.
Dakota Malone.
Malone.
100%. Malone.
That guy's the most, forget Dos Equis. He's the most interesting man in the world.
He 100% is. And I love Dakota like a brother. And he has been huge part of our Making the City Smaller platform. His story that he told was incredible. And he found relationships across this country.
Yeah.
Because they watched his story about who he is, just like he told you guys.
Yeah.
And here he is 3 years later, still doing the same thing and doubling down and building that reputation as an expert in his industry.
Right.
It's awesome.
No, it's
what a great concept for a podcast, by the way. I think that's wonderful. Because there's so many times in life you don't realize you're running parallel, like you said, with you're right next to someone that it would be a match made in heaven for whatever it is you're involved in, and you don't even know it. And now we have the technology and the mediums to be able to get out there and make that connection. So what a great idea.
That's awesome.
We one more quick story. So Kip White, Casey White's dad over at Chimera, he was at one of our events recently, and he's like, "Hey, I got an idea. How about we go up in my plane and we do Making the City Smaller from 3,000 feet above?" And
Holy cow!
Hell yeah! So last week, I think it was last week, we went up and we flew out to Griffiths and we came back the north end of Oneida Lake. Ended up in Clay and Baldwinsville and Phoenix and came down back to the city, and we were popping in on different projects VIP had built or projects Chimera had outfitted with their access control. And we don't know where that story will lead yet, but we captured some great B-roll from 3,000 feet
That's
above.
Incredible.
And we're going to use that content to help shine a light on all these companies that are out there advocating for how we all make our city smaller. How do we shine a light on the good news of New York? We do it together.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Listen, I mean, that guy would have had me at, hey, let's go up in my plane. I'd be like, cool. I don't care what we're doing. I'm in.
No, that's awesome. I love hearing that. And those are the types of things that we like to celebrate. We've talked about a couple other local folks doing that same thing. And this is the thing that we need, as we're talking about all these things that come here. And, we started in the beginning where you mentioned in a few months, people are going to believe this is really happening. I think what we're seeing right now is still this undercurrent of just negativity and I'll believe it when I see it, and it's never ending, and we need this positivity of
Well, we've lived through 30 years of pessimism because we'd be promised X and it wouldn't come to materialize.
You're absolutely right.
Manufacturing was leaving in the 90s when I got out of college. It was hard to justify staying here, but we did, and I'm glad we did. But first time I feel like in decades, we've got an actual opportunity to do a transformative reset of our region, and we've got everything we need. We've got great, climate. Sure, it gets cloudy, but we all show up to work the next day after 18 inches of snow. It's not debilitating. We don't have the natural disasters. We just have some cloudy skies.
Right.
We just got to find our vitamin D, find that red light, and get some color in your body mechanically, or fly out of the area and come back.
Vacation.
But the debilitating natural disasters do not impact us. We show up to work, and we've got the resources, and we've got the people, and we've got the colleges. How do we keep these kids when they graduate to stay here?
That's right.
Well, we're going to have the jobs now.
That's it.
Yeah, I live in Ithaca, and that's one of my big things is I think we've got to find a way to get industry into Ithaca where, Cornell's pumping out some of the most brilliant doctors and engineers in the world,
Just
veterinarians. Yeah, and then see ya. And it's like, how do we keep them here? So I'm totally on board with you on that. And Syracuse too, obviously, Syracuse University.
That's been a classic upstate New York prop.
Yeah.
Nothing but great schools all over the place. And
then nowhere to put them.
Exactly. Thing. Yeah, but it's great. I'm totally with you. I feel like it's our time.
I think so. Even the bills are good.
We've paid.
That's right. It's like, what's going on here? The bills are good, and the region's growing, and all these promises are coming true. It's just awesome.
The region, one more thing. The
Sure.
region is super important. I think I've heard Matt talked about it. I know I've talked to Matt offline about this. We really are doing a better job, we as the collective community, promoting the region. So it's the Mohawk Valley is inclusive of Central New York, which is inclusive of the Finger Lakes, which is inclusive of the Southern Tier, and then into the North Country. So whether it's Remington, we've talked about Remington and the redevelopment of that, and everything that the Herkimer County IDA, our buddy John Pisek out there, is killing it with development. So as our footprint kind of stays within that 2-hour drive, we love the Mohawk Valley through the Finger Lakes and down to the Binghamton. Stacy Duncan down at the agency in Broome County is doing amazing things to get her region aligned. It's no longer county by county. The counties are getting together, and then those regions are getting together, and then the regions are working together. So it's really promoting upstate New York, and we can talk about that line. Where is that line that you were showing the other day?
That's right.
I agree with Mike. It's somewhere north of the city. It's that Newburgh. I saw that line you drew. I'm like, I think that's right. And we really have the opportunity to promote the resources that we all have upstate. Wherever you draw that line, and we're in the heart of it. 81 and 90 is critical. And whether we go 2 hours in any direction, our region needs to be promoting the region because we've got great assets and a ton of colleges,
100%.
a ton of graduates that need to find a reason to stay.
That's
I love
it.
that.
Amen. Drop the mic.
I'm going to let you out of here with one last question.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about all these great things in the region.
I'm excited.
I would love to get your top 5 resources in Central New York that people from outside the area might not know.
Great question.
All right. Well, the Adirondacks, right? First and foremost, the Adirondacks. There's no reason anybody won't fall in love with the Adirondacks. So that's always my go-to. The Finger Lakes are amazing.
Yes.
You just, those bodies of water, they're all just incredible. So whether you're a wine type of person or not, go to the Finger Lakes, take a tour, understand the heritage. I love the Dome. I love Syracuse University.
Yeah.
I think the Dome goes right up in there. That's 3, brother. Man, I'm struggling.
We can edit. Don't worry. Take your time.
And in the city, New York City, it's not far.
No.
My kids, what they'll do is they'll drive to Albany, and then they ride the train down.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to do it.
Yep.
So I think New York City or Philly or Boston, all within those 5 hours, I think that should be part of our conversation, that we're easy to reach. And Toronto's included in that, right? Mm-hmm. But for those top 5, I'm thinking Adirondacks, Finger Lakes,
The Dome.
the cities outside of here, and then, I'm really struggling with more. Give me one. What do you got?
How about you, a baseball guy, like a Cooperstown fan, man?
Oh, there you go.
Cooperstown.
Hall of Fame's a good one.
I'm a lacrosse kid, but baseball, come October, I'll pay attention. Cooperstown Hall of Fame is amazing. If you've never toured, you got to go down to those lower levels where they've got amazing history and product. Doubledays Field, I go down there for a conference every year, and the attendees playing a softball tournament on Doubleday. That's incredible. It's like, you're out there and you're thinking about the history of baseball, which I'm not a huge historian, but there's something special about that field.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Used to go there as a kid. I grew up like an hour away. And they used to have the Hall of Fame game every year where 2 teams from the MLB would come and play. And we would just stay out in the parking lot. There were like 50 kids, and we would just run around shagging foul balls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Niagara Falls. I got
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Mike Durkin, where can folks find your podcast and
Anything else?
and VIP, I guess, if they want to learn about that?
Thank you, guys. So makingthecitysmaller.com. You'll find us on YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn. The easiest spot is just find me on LinkedIn, follow me, and then you'll be certain to get connected to Making the City Smaller. For VIP, it's just VIPstructures.com. Again, we design, we build, and we develop real estate right in the heart of downtown Syracuse, and we're celebrating our 50th anniversary, which is
Wild.
epic. And Meg is taking us to the next 50 years.
50 years of if you I don't even know. If you snored for 50 years, I'm impressed. Like if you do anything for 50 years.
Well, and also statistically, family businesses don't typically last multiple. A lot of people think it's a thing, but it doesn't typically work that well. And Meg is an absolute superstar, and obviously she had incredible shoes to fill, and she's doing a great job. So I agree. If anybody's going to take another 50, it would be her.
Real quick, are any of your kids interested in the same field? Are any of them looking into going into your...
A little bit. So Connor was thinking when he graduated from Syracuse University in May that he might want to get into project management. He's a iSchool graduate, which is a combination of information technology and software. And but he was lending towards project management construction, watching me and watching some others, and he had done some labor for a home remodeler. But he ended up in a job with United Radio, which is another company that's been around for decades.
Yeah.
You know, just a stakeholder in our market, and he's a project coordinator for them, which is
good.
A great launch pad, and that's a great mix of technology with his degree.
Yeah.
And the project management, which he enjoys. So we'll see where his career takes him. And my younger one, I don't know. I think she could do anything she wants. She's smart. She's talented. She's strong. She's independent. So we'll see.
Well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations on everything. Keep doing what you're doing. We need you here.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So-
Mike Durkin, it's been a pleasure. Anytime you want to come back in and tell us
would love
about
to.
what's going on or just shoot the breeze,
Please.
that's what we're into. So clearly you can see when I said this guy was tapped into everything.
Yeah.
You can see what I was talking
We're
about.
not kidding.
So absolutely a pleasure to have you, my friend.
It's great to see you guys.
And with that, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we got some weekend stuff to review. We got
Oh, yes.
we got all kinds of. We got some news in the content world.
Crazy stuff.
We'll see what else we get to. We got a
Yeah, we'll be back.
got some guy who was mad at me.
There's a guy mad at
Talk
you?
about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about on Good News York, sponsored by Ads on the Go. Ads on the Go. Get adsonthego.com.
That's it. And we're back.
You bought that? I almost bought that. Oh, sorry. All right, here we go. Let's
No,
do
this
it.
is great. This is great. So, welcome back to Good News York.
Oh, we're going to go.
We got a bunch of random things, and I feel like we've kind of run out of time for our random things in the last few episodes.
know,
So
and I
wanted
hate
to
it.
Take a few extra minutes, even though we just had a phenomenal
Ugh.
interview with our man Mike Durkin. I told you that guy was
That dude.
wasn't
Yeah, you keep bringing in really, like every time you're like, got a really cool guest coming in from Profound. And I'm like, okay. They are all amazing, dude.
It's-
like just innovative, smart, kind. They check all the boxes,
I
man.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it. It's a great time. But we got a lot of other things, like I said, that I wanted to talk about. And I might as well go with the first one since you sort of
Dude, if this works,
on TikTok. This is not a thing. It should be a thing. I have a TikTok shop
yeah.
affiliate. I could sell this thing, but I don't care to.
I've seen this ad like 10 times, and I've almost bought it
It's
10
a
times.
Law and Order sound effect gavel.
Gong, gong.
The best part of that, the reason that TV show has like 4 franchises and 5,000 episodes is this fucking sound effect.
Gong, gong.
Whoever on that show came up with that idea deserves like 75% ownership of the show.
Gong, gong. Dude, this is...
It comes with a little gavel and a little sound effect pad, and I don't know.
So it's gonna be. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like king, king. Not bad. It's a little up here. I thought it'd be more down here.
I don't know if the mic will pick it up from over there, but it is the official Law and Order sound. Now, I got to say, the second most amusing thing, yeah, it's a little. You got hit in the right spot. There you go. You're a bad judge.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes, I am.
it came with this cute little book,
What?
The History of Law and Order.
That thing-
TV show.
Dude, that thing should be as long as War and Peace.
Look at.
You know how many episodes they've had?
This is the original Law and Order, not SVU.
Oh, my bad.
It's got
Ice-T.
It's got the Jack McAvoy. Remember?
Yeah. Of course.
Who cares?
I care.
Anyway, this is again proof that you can feed me stupid shit in
Yeah.
the feed, and I will buy it.
Law and Order, my wife used to watch this, and my favorite part was always the opening when they find the murder. And then I would go and leave and come back for the end. So I would know, okay, this is what happened, and did they get convicted or not?
My favorite part about Law and Order is how someone will be brutally
There he
murdered,
is.
and the police will go talk to a witness, and the witness doesn't stop what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Guys
They
like,
just
"Oh,
keep working."
I'm busy gardening.
Yeah, you're
Hey,
right.
Can you tell us about the dude that had his head sawed off yesterday?
I don't know, man. I got 15 petunias to
these
take
tulips got to get in here, bro. I don't really have time for like.
Dude, you're so right. Like, they're too good for the like.
Yeah.
If a detective came to me and I was gardening and they were like, I have a few questions, I would be like, what did I do?
Guy's working in a factory and he doesn't even fucking stop.
No,
you know,
he's like, what? I can't hear you. I'm trying to work over here. You jack off.
it's wild.
It is wild.
Wild.
It is wild. And but you know, the one thing I appreciated about Law and Order, because remember when we were kids and Scooby Doo, and at the end they would pull the mask off.
Yeah.
It was always the first person that they talked to.
Sure.
So I was always like, yeah, that the first person they talked to is going to end up being the culprit. But at Law and Order, there were some twists and turns.
Sometimes it's the second person.
Sometimes it's the third.
It's a wild show. Anyway, that's my toy of the day.
Dude, excellent.
What
10
did
out
we
of
call it?
10.
We haven't done that bit in a while. What did we call that bit? Something.
We did?
Buy shit or something. Remember we did that?
Matt by
I
shit.
don't know.
Let's stick with that. All right, on to the next. There we go. What's the next topic?
never
What about
get
your
shot.
birthday, dude? Happy birthday.
Thank
And happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Yeah, Matt had a birthday this weekend, and Danny and I suck. We didn't go, but we had good reasons.
So here's the thing. We had a surprise party. Shout out to my wife
Yeah,
for planning
amazing.
a surprise party I didn't know anything about, and all my friends and coworkers and everybody who showed up. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
We had it right down the road from the studio at this pinball place that I had never been in. What's it called? Skill Shot, I believe.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. They did the whole thing. They got us food and drinks and unlimited, pinball playing, and we had a great
nice.
time. You fellas were both very busy, and I don't fault you at all. First of all, for not making it, I wouldn't have expected you to, coming from how far away you are.
There we would have been.
You guys made me like one of the best videos. I almost, as I'm watching this and I'm laughing at it, I'm like, these guys, why don't they make more of this shit at work? But it was
know.
great.
Well-
and we will play it, and I'm gonna post it and share it.
It was the very least we could do. We love you as a friend, and but also as our boss. And we felt incredibly guilty that we couldn't be there, but we had good reason. My son had his own birthday party down in Vestal, New York. I would have had to drive separate and come up, and Danny put on a hell of a Loricana gaming event, which was wild and awesome.
The fact that you've trained him to say that word, buddy,
I know.
is truly impressive.
I sound cool in the gaming world now. I'm like, hey, you guys play Loricana? No, you should. Even though I have no idea what it is.
But yeah, it was phenomenal, and I appreciate it, and I thank you.
Dude, we love you, man, and we're so glad that your wife was awesome, and she had a private Facebook thing. And I'm more impressed that Danny and I didn't blow it. Did you really? Be honest. Did you have
I had
any
no clue.
inkling?
I had no clue.
Zero.
My wife told me we were doing something for my birthday.
Okay.
And that was all I knew. So I don't know. She's taking me to dinner or something. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like she and I are both not necessarily big event people for this. We've always been more about the kids than than each other. So this was a total surprise. It was phenomenal.
Wow.
Had a great time. Great to see everybody. I fucking love people for coming out.
Well, you're very loved, man, and
we'll
happy
share
birthday.
that fun video as well because like I said, you guys.
It's a good vid.
You guys did a great.
Good vid.
The best. I'll give this piece of advice. If you can't make it to a friend's party, send a goofy video instead.
Did it? Do you
not even
think?
gonna be mad at you.
Do you think it made up for us not being there? Like, do you think it was like, you know what, this was, justified for them not coming? You know what I mean?
Sure, you didn't eat any of the food or anything. It was
That's
perfect.
true. That's true. Well, I think our in the video we say we're actually doing you a favor. You see us at least 4 days a week, so this was our gift. Was like,
No, it was good. It was good. We had a great time, and I really appreciate everybody and everybody on Facebook. I had like hundreds of folks reach out and wish me the old
it's great.
happy level up day. And
If it wasn't for Facebook, I wouldn't know anyone's birthday. I'll be honest,
I'm right there with you, man.
including myself.
Luckily, mine's a holiday, so it's the one holiday you don't get off.
Nope.
But anyway,
Yeah.
it was a great time. It was a great time. Also, great Father's Day.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you, buddy.
I'm like one of those kids whose birthday's near Christmas, so my family kind of merges the birthday and
Yeah.
Father's Day, which is awesome. my daughter had a gymnastics recital.
Nice.
Brilliant scheduling on Father's Day.
Of course.
But it was a great time. And, you're going to spend the time with the kids. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Who cares? Before we quickly jump away, I just wanted to kick it to Danny for just a second, buddy. And I don't know if you just want to mention, how was your event on Saturday? How was this?
Oh, yeah, Danny, I don't know if that
Or
setting is
tournament.
still on the camera where you can flip it around because I think they reset, but
It's okay.
Oh, no, it's all good. It was awesome. We had 32 players. We actually I was talking to Mike in between the break here. We got picked up by a Lorcana account that specializes they're called ink decks. So in Lorcana, there's ink, and they just specialize in collecting all the decks from big tournaments. So they just posted us and tagged us on their thing. So now more Lorcana content creators can go through our tournament and look at the lists, and especially the more unique lists that stray off from the meta. So I'm excited to see that. It's such a very niche thing, but it's amazing the community that looks for that type of
well, yeah, I think it's more
I'm sorry, are you speaking English?
old English.
Surprisingly, yes.
No, I think that's what makes
Bro's
it more.
out nerding me.
Yeah, that's massive. No, but I think that's more impressive, and what makes it more special is that because it's such a niche game, when people who play that game find that there's like a place to go for it, it's humongous, man. It's awesome. Congratulations.
That's it's genuinely awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that everything went well for you.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome, buddy.
So, a couple other things we want to talk about.
Mhm.
One, we'll throw out, and this is Good News York, so we want to stay positive. We'll stay very positive. We got some fantastic feedback from a listener recently. They suggested, it was so nice of them to put in a suggestion that we didn't ask for. How considerate.
Very.
They suggested that we didn't have as much swearing in our clips.
Yeah.
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 It appears that this person, while an adult, is not necessarily skilled in the ways as adults function, and they were a little upset to hear that I might say fuck
Yeah. I
on
felt,
the internet.
I felt it was more directed towards me because I do swear a lot when I get excited, you know? Like I think we posted a clip the other day where we were opening your gifts and I dropped like 2 F-bombs.
I guess I just
didn't have to
assumed
do
it's
that.
me because I get in an every.
I
other word
thought it
kinda
was
guy.
more of me than you, but I'll gladly let you take the blame.
Here's the thing. We're on the internet, and adults swear, and we want to be real. That's the biggest thing. We want to be positive, we want to be upbeat, but we don't want to be fake about it.
No.
We're not pretending to like these things. We don't pretend to support these businesses or these entrepreneurs we're talking about. We're real.
Yeah.
And in real life, Mike and I swear a shit ton.
We really do.
So if
we
you
really
want us to sit here and be real and do a natural, organic content podcast, you're going to hear some fucks once in a while.
And the guy that wrote me, I know him. He's a great guy, and I think he was coming from a place of being like, I really like the show, but like heads up.
You a member of the clergy or something?
No, not at all, actually. And so I was actually thankful because we do appreciate feedback.
First day with a high-speed connection?
But you know what I found the most refreshing is how much it triggered you. I love it. You defended our honor, and I appreciate that because I love to fucking swear.
Yeah.
It's not that I love it. I remember when I'm a huge Howard Stern fan. I don't think I've missed an episode since 1997. When he went to terrestrial radio, or from terrestrial radio to satellite.
Yep.
I remember the first few episodes and few interviews before, he was telling everybody, like, look, everyone's going to expect us to come on, and all the things that the FCC hated about us, we're going to just... And he's like, I don't want us to swear more than we did. We're just... You know what I mean? We're not going to swear more now. It's just now we...
Yeah.
And it's funny is that it ended up being a ton of swearing because that's naturally
how adults
how they talk. And so, and I'm glad I thought what I thought was going to happen was you were going to say, you know what, he's right, we got to stop. And I didn't want to do that because, like you said, this really is our natural reactions.
Yeah, and we do things professional, and we do business content and things of that nature. What we don't do is make content for children.
We don't.
And that's not to say that we're obscene in any way, but the whole thing, this is pointed at professionals in New York State, learning about New York State, learning about things to do with their family.
Yeah.
But this is not a children's show. And in the podcast feeds, it is specifically marked as explicit. And in YouTube, it specifically says it's not made for children.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you, bro.
I dare say, and I'm not just, trying to grasp at straws here. I dare say when I'm listening to a podcast or anything and someone swears, it immediately authenticates that podcast for me. And I'm not saying you have to swear. If it makes sense for what they're talking about and they swear, I suddenly go, okay, so this isn't completely scripted. They're passionate about what they're talking about. They're real people.
Right.
And by the way, I did radio, and the FCC sucked. I get why they were there and they're important to be there.
Yeah.
But, we don't have to worry about that. So let's celebrate that.
And again, it's not just us. It's not like we're breaking boundaries here and we're cutting edge. It's the fucking internet, bro.
Yeah, man.
And, you'll flip through your feed and you'll see a clip of us telling a joke or saying fuck. And, oh, man, that's so offensive. And then on the next feed, you get to see your neighbor like threatening your other neighbor's life because of who they voted for local dog catcher.
Yeah.
Some nonsense.
Oh, my God. They said the F word, and then it switches to body cam footage of someone getting 18 holes put in them.
We are the least vulgar content on the entire internet.
I would agree. When I'm not talking.
That's my whole
As
point.
Danny said, I'm an HR night.
Well,
but you got to reel me in. I can really get going.
Tapes don't roll 24/7.
Oh, my Lord.
But anyway, that's enough about that.
Yes.
Last thing I wanted to talk about, and I kind of wish I had the clip. I don't even know. And Danny, if I'm putting you on the spot too much, tell me. Is there any way to pull up a link that I might have sent in the chat?
Do I know what this is?
This is the podcasting thing.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
So
I can't wait to hear what you think about
podcasts are exploding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm going to set, whether or not we find this clip, I'm going to set it up for you. I'm sorry for throwing this at you live. Podcasts are exploding. We know that. We launched growth mode content. So many people told us we hit it at just the right time. Podcasts certainly aren't a new concept. They've been around for literally decades.
Mm-hmm.
A decade ago, I tried to launch a podcast business in Syracuse, as many folks know. Didn't fucking go anywhere. Nobody knew what a podcast was.
Stop swearing.
Back then.
Sorry.
So, it's been this ebb and flow, but especially, and I don't know exclusively, and maybe we give this more credit than that, but in the last election, many folks believe that podcasts played a massive role. And regardless of what your take on whether or not that was good or bad, that skyrocketed these things to the forefront. And now everybody has a podcast, thanks to growth mode content. And this trend is growing. And I could see why folks might worry about that, especially folks like us in this industry. Looks like Danny's got it. And as long as he thinks the audio works, I'm going to ask him to play this clip first.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
And then we'll talk about it.
Great.
I thought you watched it. We discussed this in the chat.
Okay, I thought, never mind.
So here's the clip. Walmart is launching podcast studios. And let her rip, buddy. We'll hear the story.
Walmart's launching podcast studios. Okay, remember back in the day when JCPenney had those
We might
really
just need our
cringy
speakers up.
family portrait studios where you got those awkward family photos?
There we go.
Walmart is bringing that back, but not family photos. They're launching podcast studios. Imagine walking into Walmart and recording a podcast. They just launched their first location in Franklin, Tennessee, but it's not just podcasts. You can record music, photography, video podcasts. It's really a space where you can create all types of content because Walmart knows that content is the new currency. And podcast studios have been popping up everywhere. Here in Miami, we went from 2 to like 50 studios in the last 2 years. They are popping up on every corner because people need content in 2025. That's exactly why I built the Airbnb of podcast studios.
You can cut it.
Studio.
So,
Can you cut the monitors? Boy, Walmart knows how to ruin everything, don't they?
I mean, part of that is you got to keep in mind, that's not even necessarily Walmart. That's somebody that goes, because they have these spaces all over the place. And, partners come to them. They go, hey, I want to, I think there's the haircut place.
Sure.
In a lot of Walmarts. They go, hey, let's put our place in all your Walmarts. I don't know that necessarily they seek that out. I don't know. But this is something that's very exciting to me. And I know a lot of people might think, especially when that fella mentions how this has exploded and studios have exploded.
Right.
As somebody who runs, I don't want to say, we're not typically a studio. A lot of these studio spaces, and especially that Walmart, is a cool spot for you to use.
Right.
That's not what we do at Growth Mode Content.
Right.
We have the cool spot But then we also have the team that does
Right.
all the work that goes into it, which is the part that nobody imagines.
Sure.
It's also the reason I'm very excited about this, because all of these very cool, very nice looking sets and cool studios for do-it-yourself content is going to show people the reason we exist. It's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
And it's not just the sitting down and recording. It's the editing. It's the posting. It's the promotion. It's the strategy that goes behind it all so that somebody will actually watch the stuff that you put together. These are all the extra and the most time-consuming pieces of any content creation strategy. And it's the thing that none of these just studios or the places that offer you to rent the room for whatever an hour, none of those offer that. So anybody who does this with any seriousness and anybody who gets a little traction is going to find exactly what I found in my business when I started making podcasts for my business. The business gets successful because of the podcast, and you don't have time to do the podcast.
Right.
Enter growth mode content, where we literally do make it so easy that all you do have to do is show up, sit down and record, and all of that other work is done for you, and you have a reliable, consistent daily posting schedule and a strategy behind your content and all the other pieces that actually make it successful. So the more and more people want that, to me, that just drives demand to us. Especially when I believe we are setting ourselves, and we're continuing to grow in this manner, setting ourselves to be the premium option, right? And there's a couple other great studios in Syracuse. They are working to do the same things, but these are all good for us. You know what I mean?
See, and that's why you are the entrepreneur you are. You know, you find the positive in everything. And so I thought, oh my God, they're going to half-ass this and they're going to water the industry down. And you were like, no. And you said,
They are.
Well, they are, but
that's good.
Because here's what I'm thinking. My mind immediately goes to, you remember people of Walmart.com?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking, podcast studios for Walmart clients. This is great. And then my brain goes to people of Walmart.com and I go, what kind of circus is this going to be?
Realize the entire, mark my words right now,
Okay, I'll mark them.
there will be an entire booming genre of react content of people that do nothing that react to these shitty Walmart podcasts.
Okay.
People of Walmart, as exactly what you're describing.
So I'm okay.
On a content level. And I'm telling you, your TikTok feed, and now that I said this out loud, it'll probably already start to happen, but your TikTok feed will be filled with nothing but the worst podcasts on the planet and people ridicule.
Because my band played a festival in Mason City, Iowa, and we stopped along the way in Iowa at an Iowa Walmart, and I'm just telling you, that wing of podcasts is going to be something. Look, you're right. It's great because, if anything, it's a business card for the industry itself. You know, if Walmart's doing it, if these big companies are doing it, you know, we know it's worth doing, and worth giving it a shot. So yeah, I mean,
well, you know, it also just, to me, it just further underscores that we're in the right place and this is the right medium.
we did it before.
You know, a decade ago when I was doing this, there weren't 50 podcast studios in Miami, and it wasn't, you know, as much as people had heard about it. And you can say that it was already booming. That was around the time of Serial, if anybody remember that.
That was the first podcast I ever remember about hearing about.
That really put podcasting on the map. But still, that was nothing compared to where we're at today.
No.
And what's very interesting to me is people are finally waking up to this idea of content for their business.
Yeah.
Right? We've been in this traditional advertising model for far too long. Far too long, where the only way to grow your business is to make a commercial first and foremost.
Sure.
And run it on traditional mediums, but then folks went and made commercials and started running them on the internet. Like, oh, this is just the same thing, right? No.
It's not.
Because it's attention-driven. You know what I mean? I don't want to watch a commercial. Do you want to watch a commercial?
Only if it's for a Law and Order gavel.
There you go.
And that's it. That's it.
And the algorithms know that, so they don't feed you commercials.
Correct.
So, you know, you can do what you used to do and hire a Hollywood movie studio and produce a $100,000 ad that's 30 seconds to pitch your thing.
Yep.
But the algorithm's going to go, nobody gives a shit, nobody's going to see it.
Yeah.
And that's where this organic content, that's why this is so prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we are, doing what we're doing.
It's a double-edged sword because, first of all, when we started here, part of me thought, but man, the oversaturation in this industry is going to make it harder for people to succeed. And then I realized, actually, the oversaturation doesn't play a role, because if you really have something that are going to captivate people and get their attention, if you have the content, the cream will rise to the top.
100%.
Even if there's a million other Walmart podcasts, if you have something to add in this world, it will rise.
I think it might even further propel them. And one thing I honestly worry about is the honest place that'll be the biggest challenge is for the up-and-comer.
Right.
They're going to have to wade through a lot more shit.
Barrier of entry.
To get some volume. But again, this is where the proper strategy. And the other thing is, we'll go back to what we've always talked about so many times, is the average podcast doesn't go past episode 20 or doesn't even make it to episode 20.
Yeah.
Right? So Walmart's going to make a ton of money on people that will record 2 episodes and have fun.
Sure.
And never do it again, and good for them.
Do you think they'll do it right as far as executing, hiring the right position?
No.
I'm with you. I think where it could go wrong, and probably will, is they're gonna just nonchalantly hire people. You got any? What's your credentials? I have a podcast at home. Great. And I think the quality might suffer a little bit.
If they are smart in this model, what they will do is make it almost completely automated. So they'll do things similar to we have, where instead of tripods and things, you've got wall-mounted cameras. They're in a fixed spot, and a simple one-button record. So anybody could do it themselves. If they're smart, that's how they would do it.
Interesting.
Because, and just looking at the numbers on this, because I've been running the numbers on these business models for literally a decade, if you're going to pay somebody, especially if you think about 2 somebodies, the amount of money you got to charge to even break even is, in my mind, way more than any consumer, any casual, I want to try it guy is ever going to invest. So chances are they're going to make it dirt cheap, and they're going to do it by probably not well staffing.
That's what I was thinking. And the ultimate irony will be they'll still have their perfume and cologne locked up, but the podcast studio will be wide open. Well, I mean, look, it's going to be fun for us just to cover this and see what happens.
I do like the comparison to the 90s, J.C. Penney portrait studio thing, because when you think about it, though, how many people, there were photographers, same as we have today, independent, really talented, artistic people, and yet, I don't know, how many millions of families brought their kids to J.C. Penney's to get the picture, you know?
No, you're right.
It's an interesting concept in a modern form.
I'm just
interested to see how it goes.
I'm happy for the industry. I'm worried about them not executing it correctly. But again, that'll lead for great content for us covering this.
The worst thing, if they want to pump in $100 million in advertising this concept to people, and people get there and they get excited about it and they do it and they see the potential, but they're underwhelmed, just going to convince them to invest the real money and use a real company like us. And we talk about ourselves. There's a number of other great content creation companies like us all over the country these days. We are also growing rapidly.
Yeah.
And that's good.
It's great.
Get people into it.
Get ready for a ton of NASCAR podcasts.
Then when you're ready to do it for real, come here.
And then come here. But we are not threatened. We are happy.
Yeah.
Because it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. New business, new opportunities.
New business, new opportunities. I mean, there is just, what a time to be alive. I mean, there's so many ways to make money now. Like, just, gone are the days of like, I can't find a job. It's like, dude, there's so many ways, even OnlyFans. I mean, it's just like, there's just so many avenues to make money. And instead of being, threatened by the oversaturation, I've learned to just embrace it, and find a way to make it work for you,
In all these things, like you said, there's these opportunities. There will be a ton of people that jump into it. There will be a ton of people that fail. They don't get anywhere. And there will be some superstars. But like you said, it's the variety of opportunities. And even in the content, we talk about podcasts, but You can pick one of the social media sites and make that your niche and
Sure.
do exclusively for that. Or, you can make fucking the one of the most popular, if not still the highest grossing channel on YouTube is that children's toy channel where it's a person, all you see is their hands.
Oh yeah,
playing with the little toy.
and they don't.
And that's
they don't ever
100%,
clip
and
their
it's
finger down.
narrated, but that's 100. You don't even see this human's face.
I know. My
And they're making tens of millions of dollars a
My
year.
daughter used to watch years ago little LOL dolls. This woman would, but she never manicured her face. Like her fingernails were dirty.
Drive
and-
you crazy.
But do you think they're gonna have an anchor show? Like they'll have a Walmart network and they're gonna have their own Joe Rogan?
No,
like,
they don't give a shit.
You don't think so?
Nope.
I
They're,
feel like
they're literally just want to rent the room. It's a borderline real estate play.
interesting.
That's how
It's pretty smart.
that model of podcast studio. If you're not offering the additional services like we offer here, that model of renting the studio is literally a real estate play. It's the same as a co-work where you can like rent a desk for the day.
yeah.
That sort of thing. That's really the whole model. And I could be mistaken. Maybe they're doing
Sounds
something
right.
different. But from everything I'm seeing,
Yeah.
I would be kind of shocked. And that's the majority of places are these podcast studios. They're a room you can rent.
Yeah.
You got to know what to do with it.
All right. Well, I'm here for it.
Hell of a day.
Hell of a day.
We didn't even talk about what we did on Thursday.
The hell did we? Oh my god.
We're going to have to save that for another.
CannaCon.
Speaking of which, fellas, so just a quick programming note. That was a thing. We were at a live event, and we didn't record a traditional episode like this, but we shot a lot of different pieces that we planned to piece together for an episode. Just out of curiosity, do we know where we're at with that episode? Or
I don't know, Danny. Do you know where we're at? It was CannaCon. We went to Rochester, New York, for CannaCon, which
Yeah.
is a cannabis festival. But it's not what you picture. We picture.
it wasn't like a
big party, but
hippie fest.
not even close.
No.
It was there wasn't even any cannabis there.
Right.
Ironically, it was like people that developed lights for growers or
The
pesticides.
businesses that
farmers.
support
Credit unions
main industry.
because you can't accept federal
Yeah.
money because it's federally still illegal. So and it was great. It was very professionally done, and,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of cool. We saw a pizza vending machine. I mean, Jesus.
We were there for our one of our content clients, Chimera Integrations, who does security and access control and things like that, not just for that industry, but all kinds of industries, and did some live podcasting for them.
great.
It was awesome, and like I mentioned, recorded sort of a Good News York
Absolutely.
in a series of
2
segments.
for 1. Sure.
Yeah,
Episode
Perfect.
55.
perfect. Did we put that out? Oh shit! Look,
Oh.
I don't even know.
Look at us.
You think I would pay attention to my own stuff?
We're like, well, I don't care. Rent the space. Right.
I just assumed that one was going to take longer. That's awesome.
So we
I'm
got
gonna
it
have to go
out
back and
there.
Watch that.
Our CannaCon episode. It was fun.
We did a really great closing, I will say.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert, you should stick around for that whole piece then, because we just sort of recorded that, in the public space with everybody looking around going, what the fuck are these guys doing?
These idiots.
But anyway, we'll give you the full breakdown of all of that later this week. We've got a jam-packed week full of other
We
guests.
got a ton of guests and just a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
We've got an event coming up where we're
We should
going
start
today.
a podcast.
We should start a podcast.
Yeah.
Let's do it at Walmart. It is Good News York, brought to you by Ads on the Go. GetAdsOnTheGo.com.
Get ads
On the go.
on the go.com.
Coming at you. Anyway, Mike Brindisi, Matt Mazer saying goodbye, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out.